So behaviour. How it's defined in the dictionary is the way in which one acts or conducts oneself, especially towards others. This is its broad definition. And what I find really interesting about that definition is because behaviour is thought about often about its effects on others. So our behaviour is a thing that then is projected out to other people. And these are words we hear a lot. Appropriate and inappropriate behaviour. Particularly in schools, you come across lots of different ways to term behaviour or describe behaviour. Inappropriate versus appropriate versus inappropriate is one. You also hear positive and negative behaviour used as well. Schools, thankfully, are moving away from terms like good or bad behaviour, because those very black and white terms can often be quite damaging in many ways. But personally, in most situations concerning behaviour, I have a preferred term, um, not appropriate or inappropriate, but expected and unexpected behaviours. And we'll be talking about that in a little bit more detail as we go through. But expected and unexpected behaviours are almost, it's destigmatising a negative spin on when behaviour is traditionally challenging, if you see what I mean. So even with appropriate and inappropriate, whilst that isn't good or bad, inappropriate definitely has a negative spin that perhaps expected and unexpected doesn't have, if that makes sense. But like I said, we will be getting to that in further detail through the webinar. So as I said, behaviour is measured by its impact on others. So here are some examples. So when behaviour is termed to be appropriate, it's usually because we're doing things for somebody else. We're doing something positive for someone else. We are talking through our problems and effectively managing emotions. So if you take that to the classroom, somebody's cross with a peer, it's appropriate to talk about that, why they're cross, and problem solve. It would be inappropriate to then be aggressive to that person, or unkind, or screaming, or becoming dysregulated. All of those things there are often termed to be inappropriate because they are all about how they affect other people. And often that sort of spin on things then we accidentally, not through anything that's deliberate, we accidentally lose sight of why that behaviour has happened to that person. So it's not necessarily so much about the inappropriateness towards others, but more about unpicking what's going on inside that young person to make that behaviour in the moment the only option they felt was available to them. So this is why appropriate and inappropriate can sometimes be tricky terminology to use.